These tables, they're not crammed in. There's plenty of space around every table, and if you're a pool fan, you can literally get up to any table in the arena and watch all these players, and this is an interest.
And obviously, Chua is a big favourite. But
had a little practice last night, Phil, when I got here, about 30 minutes with some of the English players that are playing, and let me tell you, the pockets were very nippy for what we're used to seeing. But to be honest, Phil, this is what the top players want. You know, the pool players around the world. You know, when you're playing in challenge matches, or even when you set your table up at TV over the years, where we've always felt the pockets have been a bit too generous. You would feel Vincent Fake is like, because I've been out there on the table, I've experienced it now, and you know, pool's a game where sometimes you see shock results, but I don't think it's a shock result because Phil, you was working on that event. That event only finished last night, and if you look at that full event, the top players, Judd Trump, he was put under pressure. He ended up getting beaten off Jack Jones. This is sport. If you put
around half his lifetime ago, but Vincent Fake is a former runner-up in the World Masters. Lost
cue ball control goes a little missing, and it's gone missing there, so he can't get close to the 6. Look at this. Now he's left himself jacked up over the 9. This nicely done. The cue ball needs to slow down. So the last 3 shots he's played, Phil, he's lost control of the cue ball. Is he playing the bank? I feel like that's the shot. Not only you've got to pot the ball, you've got to get right on the 8 ball. So he's going to have a tough 8 ball. But even pot it and play for the bank on the 9. Yep, this was the problem. Inexperience of competing. First rack. The right centre. I'm sure our avid viewers know this by now. But 2 breaks and 2 dry breaks. Yeah, he knew as well. Surely he's not gone behind the 7, Phil. It's the only place he could land on the table. He'd like to just graze the bottom rail. Well, he caught it half ballish, so that's okay as well. It's always a funny shot, that one, Phil. You know,
not the case. Oh, but Johann Chua not able to take advantage. Mind you, what a roll that was.
Quite sure where the balls are going to end up. This is just part and parcel of being a pool player. Good hit there, though. Oh, this might end up okay. It needs to slow down, though. As long as he's not left the pot. Look. Well, the purple 5 ball is his friend at the moment, because just look where
they allow it to get under their skin as much as other Q Sports players.
That was a nice 2-rail kick, though. It's all about getting your name in the hat, isn't it, Phil? That's what the rule is, and we played double elimination. If you're not familiar with what that means, it means you can actually lose a match. It's about trying to qualify for the single elimination stage. That's when you feel like this event really comes to life.
All of the big names will get to single elimination, and the vast majority of them that struggles goes out early. Copenhagen, I remember, in this event, has suffered a fate like that in the past. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz came close to it. It's all about, though, playing well for these top guys on these tables and gaining confidence that way.
That just shows you how accurate you've got to be on the break, because he's found the point again. This is what I was to play on the 3, but it's a little slow one. Easy to lose the cue ball and he's not reached the pocket, so he's not converting these chances.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ralph Suke and Oliver Ortman.
Some well-known names. Chua spends his time at the table and not in his chair, is the more he starts to warm up, because it doesn't matter who you are.
Here, and they've got a very powerful contingent actually. All of them have got a massive incentive to do well this year.
That's the biggest news of the year, isn't it? At last, the Asian players have got a Mosconi Cup format team event to try and qualify for. We've been asking it for years, and it's quite fitting. It's got to be named after Ephraim Reyes. There was no one else it was going to be named after, is it? The Reyes Cup.
Well, both Willie Mosconi and Ephraim Reyes, giants of the sport. The great man's legacy. Now that was a more and at his best, I believe, and I know you share this opinion, Colin.
Play his shots, and we've seen that in the World Cup of Pool. He always seems to be faced with a difficult shot in the rack. This is difficult now. Yeah, you could see what he was trying to hit this just on the right hand side. Look at that, he's played it absolutely to perfection.
Trait that you need, isn't it, in high-level pool? If you can kick with the best, it is such an advantage.
Rails for position on the 7. This is the problem though, at 3 up, Phil. That shot feels easier. If Vincent... Still a big favourite to pop the 9 ball.
Well, I actually remembered that, incredibly. I'm not like Michael, who's got the most incredible knowledge of cue sports and who can pull.
This ball will cut, but it's thin. And it's controlling the cue ball, which looks like he has done. He's warming up. The second favourite in any match, you feel like they've got to get off to a good start. Vincent's had chance.
Just thinking, Carl, you must have spent a lot of time in Telford over the years with the old GB 9-ball tour, because a lot of tournaments in that were played here, weren't they?
I don't think I ever played on it when it was in this venue. It was in a hotel when I played on it, to be honest. It's actually the first time I've been in this venue, Phil. And it's a very fine venue indeed.
And Telford itself has on a very influential place in the world as we now know it, because basically it was here that the Brookdale, just down the road. There's no revolution here. The man in charge.
It's all about the opening 2 or 3 shots. That's nicely played. Good angle on the blue too. Oh, that's worrying, Phil. That is worrying.
Pressure.
This is all round off 3 rails. Watch the cue ball come round for the pink 4 ball. There's another cue ball, Phil, flying across the arena somewhere. Chua's playing a few exhibition shots now, just sending the cue ball round. He knows he's in no real danger in this match now. It's turning into a bit of a practice match, this, for Chua.
He could well have a much tougher assignment in his next contest. Or Bernie.
Look at the screen. Look at this for an effort. Oh, it's in the middle of the pocket as well. 3 rails round the angle. Yeah, he seems to like this shot. Boy, he's played that well. He has played that tremendously well.
Less than 40 minutes after they started.
That's very strong indeed. You won't see many matches under 40 minutes.
I know it's the first morning. I know this is entirely knee-jerk and premature. But Chua, to me, looks as though he should be on the short list of contenders.
You can just hear the clatter of the balls when he breaks. To me, would you? Who would be? No, on a serious note, things like that, what we've just seen there, you know, the game, if you put the top players under pressure and ask questions, you grow in confidence as a player yourself as well. And
it was too thin a cut. Just couldn't quite pull it off. Now then, can Fake show us?
Maybe only Johann Chua in the whole building that wants to see a donut. That's when you beat a player.
By the way, Cole, when you were talking about that win over Auschen there, a liberal dose of modesty was thrown in. You don't want to keep on like that.
Right, then you forgot to mention the win over Johann Suto Camino and all, Phil, if we're going to play them games.
This is the Carl boys, I know.
Yeah, and we find ourselves playing in the UK Open. 1 o'clock against a tough opponent, Poland's Konrad Juszczyk, so I need to be on point there in that.
Results in, when I'm writing for Snooker Scene magazine, it always takes me forever to get all the Zs and the Ys and the Cs in the right place.
But back to the action. It's another chance that's gone by the wayside for the Frenchman as Johann Chua gets himself.
Well, with the hairstyle from the back, Johann, who has also got a thunderous break.
This is a case of just connecting the dots now, isn't it? Bit of a shaky start he got off to. Inch a bit and go forward with spin or come backwards. Yeah, just used a bit of the rail. The table, Chua. It's understandable you're not quite settled in. Vincent couldn't convert. He's about to get beat.
Yeah, and what a delightful shot that was on the 7. Just floating the cue ball around the traffic with running side. And it is a whitewash